Hi, this is your Li-Toroptsov, and you're listening to Image is Psyche, a podcast dedicated to fantasy lives. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about dreams. Dreams. It's such a huge topic, and a lot has been said and written about it. So, I'm going to focus on my own experience with my own dreams and the dreams of my coaching clients. Because as a coach, I do offer this possibility for some clients who would like to deepen their process and so bring a dream. So, what is a dream? Well, in my view, it's a thousand-piece puzzle that you get on a morning at your doorsteps. And you wake up, you open the door, and boom, there's this colorful box with a lot of pieces. You realize that there might be a message in the box, but before you get to the meaning of that message, you need to work and decode it to put the pieces of that puzzle together. So, dreams are the messages from the unconscious, and there are different sort of theories that explain what a dream is. But I think what's important, and this is a lesson I learned while recording and trying to analyze my own dreams, is that no matter how much time you actually put into writing and drawing and analyzing your dreams, you never really deplete the symbolic meaning of that dream. And this way, there are dreams that occupy our imagination for years. There's some dreams that keep coming back. We don't forget them. That is to say that forget about the theory why you had the dream. I think it's the importance is to focus on the dream itself, because this is where the beauty, the mystery, and the intelligence of the psyche is really contained in this one dream. So, what is the importance of looking at one's dreams regularly? I think it's a really interesting tool of self-care, because dreams have different functions, again, according to different theories. But it's like having this access to this an incredible information from the other side. It's like a little window into another world. For instance, Jung was saying that dreams never tell you things that you already know. So by design, these are snippets of information, of data that you need to know, and maybe because of your conscious attitude that needs adjustment, it comes in the form of a dream. So paying attention to your dreams and trying to integrate and understand and integrate the meaning, it's so important. So where do you start? Well, I suppose you start at the beginning when you need to record your dreams. Very often, when I work with clients who I encourage to bring their dreams to the process, sometimes they say, well, I know I dream, but I don't remember them. Or some go as far as to declare that they don't dream. Well, certainly we all dream because that's a sort of a function of the brain in a way. But the way I see it is that being able to connect with your dreams, it's like being able to start any kind of relationship. It is a relationship. So if you wake up and you don't remember your dreams, it means that, hey, there is a figure or a person, a thing that's next to you, and you need to establish a contact first before you can really talk about things. So establishing a contact might be changing your attitude and really sort of saying like, hey, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from, but I'm curious to learn. So it's making yourself available. And what next time when you wake up and you say, wow, I didn't remember my whole dream, but I remember just a little snippet. Well, take it as the actual dream and the whole dream. Write it down, think about it, even if it doesn't make any sense or it looks very fragmented and it looks very unconclusive. Take it, be grateful, give it respect, write it down, and store it in a special notebook. So this way, you are changing your attitude and you are becoming available for this kind of relationship with your dream maker. So next time, you might have a longer dream that you could record, or you might have a much bigger dream. Sometimes the dream can be only a sensation. You wake up and you say, wow, I dreamt of something. I have no image of it, but what I have is a feeling. It can be something very pleasant or something extremely unpleasant. Recording that feeling and staying it and really taking care to, to describe it in as many details as you can imagine is a way to establish this relationship with the dream maker. The more and more consistent you are doing that, more information will be able to cross over the threshold of between the conscious and the unconscious. And at some point, you might have a really working relationship with your dream maker. I mean, it's not really a direct communication. You cannot order things, a response, a feedback from the other side, because that's not the way it works. This is more of a dialectical relationship that involves two very different forces that are interacting with each other. So now let's imagine that you have access to dream material. You can remember your dreams. So what do you do? The best way would be to have them recorded in one and the same dream journal, a place where all your dream material will be collected. It's interesting because you can always go back and read some of your previous dreams, and God knows how entertaining and how stunning it can be, because over time we may forget our dreams, and reading those dreams written in careful details might bring no memory of it at all, or some memory of it. It just shows that how ephemeral these creations, dreams are. They're not really made to last in the light of the consciousness. Very often, if unrecorded, they fall back into the unconscious, into the oblivion, and we don't have any traces of it. So for me, recording your dreams, it's kind of like a ground level of your dream work. It's the basic. So then if you want to build the building, this is the foundation. So if you have a very regular record of your dreams, then you can probably move up and use some complexity. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about, for instance, drawing your dreams. You could dedicate, I don't know, half an hour a day or 1 hour every other day, or you decide whatever is good for you. And you really take the effort. And I think the effort is the right word, because it's not something that comes easy. You really take an effort to create an image using a pen, or I don't know. You can go to AI text to image generators. It doesn't matter. What's important is that you sit and you create, you play, you go back, you really sort of communicate with this material. The goal is, of course, to create an image. But creating images for your dreams is not the only way to give the embodiment to your dream. Depending on your taste and your abilities, you can enact it. You can sing it. You can dance it. And I'm not talking about the interpretation yet. These are all ways to host your dream in this world in a way, to give it space, to give it a form without the pretension of trying to understand it, trying to analyze or interpret it. Jung was saying that a dream is something so natural, like a tree. How can you analyze a tree? But of course, on the other hand, we cannot say either that, just embodying your dream is enough, because of course we are curious. What does it mean if you receive that box of the 1,000-piece puzzle on your doorsteps in the morning? You want to know what it looks like. So, considering that there are limitations to what we can learn about it, we still, can have a working relationship with the dream. Let's see how. Probably one of the biggest traps on the way to interpret anybody's dreams, it's the position that you occupy as a dream interpreter. Imagine one morning you get a phone call from your best friend, and they're telling you, "Oh, I saw you in my dream, and this and that happened. You didn't look good, or you did this and or that." And this friend of yours is really convinced that the person in their dream is you. And that's why they feel the urge and the absolute need to inform you, if not to warn you, of what's coming. So if that happened, that means that the observer of the dream, or the actual dreamer, your friend, is treating the dream objectively. The figure of you who appeared in their dream, in their mind, is really is you. So that's one way of looking at dreams. The trick is that a very small percentage of dreams that we have actually involve objective other people. Very often, it's the other way. What I mean by the other way is that whatever appears in our dreams concerns us in the first place. So if you dream of a friend in your dream, their appearance is not about them, it's about you, and their figure stands in for a character trait you associate with them, which is related to you. So that would be an example of subjective dream analysis, when you treat all the figures that appear in the dream as something that's related to you and to your own psyche. This is very closely related to what Jung called personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. So let's look at it now. To give you an image, if the collective unconscious is this huge ocean that has a lot of things going on of which we're not aware, then the personal unconscious is the coastal line of that ocean. It has contact with the dry land. It's still deep, but it's not as deep as the open ocean. So we can have access to it. So if we say that dreams are the messengers from the unconscious, so the question is, from which one? And most often, these are the messages from our personal unconscious, something that is related to us. And that's why, looking at it subjectively makes sense, because we are the recipients of it, but not all the time. Sometimes when dreams are the messengers of the collective unconscious, the dreamer receives what we call a big dream or an archetypal dream. What does it mean? It means that the emotional charge and the feeling in the dream is transcending the personal qualities of the dreamer. And by looking just at the composition of the dream and the feeling of it, you realize that it comes from a far, far away land, and it's really important. But let's go back to the question of dream interpretation. How do you do that? If you are in the beginning of your journey, recording your dreams and giving them shape, form, color, movement, can be a very good first step. Sometimes it's enough. You don't necessarily need to break it down and see what's it about. And sometimes you can't, because if you are just starting, it's not easy to understand the way dreams work. This is where it might be useful to become a part of a group that talks about dreams and shares their dream. The trick is that it's not an intellectual exercise, because when a dream is well interpreted, you feel it, that it just lands right with you, and there's something that has been activated that's really important. It's like those the edges of that puzzle, they suddenly connect and create a larger image. That's exactly how it feels. It's not an irrational realization. It's something that is so deep and yet manifest. So I guess this is the time for me to stop talking about sort of the abstract and theoretical notions of dream analysis, because this is where an actual dream would be nice to have, because it's all very concrete. So I'd like to recommend a book on the subject by my favorite author, Robert A. Johnson, a Jungian analyst. It's called Inner Work: Using Dreams and Active Imagination for Personal Growth. Johnson was an amazing writer. He really had this gift to deliver very complex notions in very succinct and very accessible form. So, reading about dream work, as he put it, I find it very instructive and inspiring at the same time. I hope you're now interested in recording your dreams and playing with them and analyzing them if possible. I would like to finish this episode with a quote from Jung. In each of us, there is another whom we do not know. He speaks to us in dreams and tells us how differently he sees us from the way we see ourselves. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.